Um, the so I, yeah, the thing that is interesting that I found interesting about where Jeff was heading a little bit earlier was our capacity to network, our capacity to actually reach into parts of this universe that is already on the way. And how do we connect to that? And how do we bring them into our effort? My head is spinning with all kinds of parts of my network that belong into this effort, right? That will turbocharge this effort because there's a lot going on. And how do we capture that? How do we have them participate in this effort and feel like we're at it? I actually had pulled away a few slides that I was going to share with you real quickly about some of these kind of enterprises and how we can access that, because that'll give our effort the capacity to move really quickly. I was starting to think about speakers. Bill Gross, from Idea Lab, he's doing amazing stuff that is very tangible. I was thinking about organizations like the Foundation for Climate Restoration. How do they fit in with us? Lisa and I were just asked to be founding members of something called Sapiens Impact. Somehow I'd love to get together with that. It's a beautiful space, a beautiful location, and a really interesting organization founded originally by a Russian investor. Some really interesting things. So air miners, how do they belong into this thing? So how can we reach into this bustling, energetic, and also that's where we bring the youth into it, right? They're already organizing.
The other two that in my head, Herman, is one is Plug and Play, the guy who was there last week.
There you go.
They've got a $6 billion fund. He said he is in. He wants to be part of this.
And they're all young. I mean, Plug and Play, other than the founder, it's a young group. It's
exactly.
They're all young.
And they want to play. And the guy who heads up the climate change fund said he wants to play. Mike Cannon Brooks from Atlassian. We need to get him on board. They've just set up now a green fund, which is in the paper today in Australia, where this guy who worked with Richard Branson has just been given a bucket load of money from City of Sydney to have a green climate change innovation hub.
There you go.
So the question is how do we get them engaged, and what do we do? Who's the first speaker of the rank where we can invite them all to say, because they're going to come if they're engaged, excited, and enthused and believe in what we do.
Precisely. One thing is to invite them as the speakers. So Plug and Play.
He heads up climate. So So get him to get 3 or 4.
And the other people come to hear them, because then they may be the speakers that all the kinds of people you've just named would all be interested in hearing each other.
Exactly.
People who are really leaders of the city or of, I also have a colleague who's writing a book. She used to be the innovation leader for the city of San Leandro, and she's writing a book about smart city, or she has a podcast, was going to be a video TV show, but it's turned into a podcast, and she can't just go travel to all the places.
You've hit the nail on the head, Lisa.
About smart cities.
So I mean, if we
interested in learning from each other.
Exactly. And they're all interested in sharing their ideas. So, I mean, if we say to Richard Branson, Richard, would you actually be speaking at this forum where we're going to invite A, B, C, and D? Like, just by him speaking, we can get anybody who you want to come into the forum. And the speakers should be those who we want who are the leveraged players.